We got here. What have we got here? Oh my goodness. Brighton Marathon 2022. You've seen the video before this. You know that I did it, but just to really put the full stop on the end, the Brighton Marathon 2022. Completed it, mate. No, for real, I'm so proud of myself. It's 10 days on. Today is the 20th of April. Brighton Marathon was 10 days ago now. I still can't really feel my legs. My brain's still slightly scrambled from the events. It's insane how much a marathon takes out of you. I'm truly surprised. Regarding my mental scrambling last week, I told a friend of mine that we should go for some birthday celebrations. It's not my birthday at all, it's not my birthday till October. I was actually proposing that we go and celebrate something else, which I'll announce later in this video. That is the, I guess, somewhat big announcement part of the title, but I'll explain that later. But yeah, my goodness, we're approaching the end of April. We're approaching the end of the month, which for me is another month sober. I've been sober and smoke-free since the 21st of July of 2020, which the 20th of April, we're almost there, almost 9 months, almost the time of a baby in utero. I don't know what that's symbolic of, but yeah, crazy. The whole pregnancy cycle's gone by and I've been sober. That's just, yeah, fascinating. Talk about that in another video, but this video, in many ways, is all about change. And I think I've learned a lot in the last few years about not only accepting change, but welcoming change, and actually understanding that change doesn't always have to be progression, or this idea of development, or this idea of evolution. But actually change sometimes is out of our control, and many times it is, and actually sometimes other people decide that change is necessary for us, we don't have a say. But I think overall we can all pretty much agree that when it comes to change, we can only do our best to adapt and to accept. And this is something that I've really been getting my head through in the last few months of running. So this channel started back in winter, back in January, and now it's the end of April, so we're in spring, and with the new season there comes a change. As I said, it's a change that's out of our control. How can we adapt? How can we accept? I think that as an individual now, I'm further on in my running journey, but that doesn't mean that I have to have grown as a runner. It doesn't mean that my time should be any quicker. Doesn't mean anything other than all I can do is focus on me enjoying my running, me being consistent, me using my discipline and the drive that I have every morning when I wake up to get out and reward myself with a run. I'm a big believer of finding gratitude. As any of you know that have watched my videos previously, having a gratitude list, saying things out loud that I'm grateful for, or writing them down is just enough for me to acknowledge when change happened in my life and to be grateful for it. And believe me, there's change every day. Change is constant in this universe, and in this life the only thing we can be certain of is that things will change. We can't control that. All we can do is really look within and find acceptance, and if we can't accept, then just let's observe together, you know, let's live this shared experience and share our thoughts. So as we're talking about gratitude, it's an absolutely beautiful day outside today. It's about 9 AM now. I'm just waiting for a couple of the running shops near me to open so I can go and recycle some running shoes, because you know, we're all about making change, and I've got to the end of my life cycle, a few of my running shoes. So quite exciting that we've got some new stuff on their way, some new runners on their way to replace those old ones. So as it's a beautiful morning, I'm going to get out for a run. It's only right. Now in this short video, I'd like to cover two different types of change that I guess I've had recent experience with in my life. And the first one is curious change. And I call this kind of change curious because the idea of changing things just for the sake of seeing what will happen, like handwriting the title of these videos or wearing sunglasses while I'm running. I've never done these things, and actually I'm just quite interested to see the result. I can use my agency and my counsel to just try these things out, and I mean, it's fun. We as humans are animals and we have evolved to survive, and we can be quite lazy. So I think actually giving yourself some small challenges, getting out of your routine, your comfort zone, I think is always a good thing. And just making these changes, things are slightly different. I'm actually holding a bit more of an upright posture to stop my glasses falling off my face. Probably not the best glasses for running, but it's a welcome change. It's interesting. If I don't like it, I can quite easily take them off. And the same can be said for the handwritten titles of the video. My handwriting is, to say the least, a bit psychopathic, so we'll see if that works or not. But the second type of change that I'd like to address is necessary change. And boy oh boy, do I have experience with necessary change. I actually had quite a big wake-up call last summer, back in July, about July 21st, when I realised that once again I was not only ankle deep but knee deep and fast approaching waist deep in alcohol addiction. Once again, I'd actually previously given up alcohol for about 4 months, but once again the drink had the better of me and I was back in the grips of addiction. And I knew that there was necessary change that needed to be made. Necessary change that started with curious change and then ended up becoming a full-blown
and then subsequent days will be fine.
necessity. I started off with curiosity because I thought, I wonder if I could go back to being sober again. Whatever, let's have another drink. And then that snowballed to the point where the curious change was gone. I was no longer just curious, but instead hungry for change. So necessary changes, I think, approach us quite suddenly in life. I don't think that we see them coming slowly. I do think that they transition from curious to necessary quite quickly, at least in my own experience. But believe me, having a sense of self-awareness, which isn't easy, but having an awareness to understand where we are in life, what things around us are benefiting us, and what things around us are taking away from our overall experience on this planet. I know for me that alcohol and cigarettes were a great detriment to not only my physical, my mental, and my overall quality of life and health. So I'd like to put up the question to all of you about change in your lives. What positive change have you experienced recently? And are there any types of change that I've been doing that aren't curious or necessary? So, on to the big announcement, which you wouldn't be surprised to hear is a change that I'm making. And it's actually a change that I've been trying to make since November 2020, so 18 months ago, which is bizarre. But the change is that I am actually changing my home address by actually quite a few miles. So I will be leaving the East End of London, where I've lived for the most part for the last 5 years. 6 years coming up, how bizarre. And I will be moving to South Australia, Adelaide City to be particular, where my partner Courtney is from. We'll be heading there for a year, at least to start off with, at the end of June of this year. So in a little over 2 months from when I record this video, we'll be moving to Adelaide. So I have a marathon booked for August 20th, I believe, in Adelaide. But I have no other plans, no other idea of what we'll do there, Courtney and I. But what I do know is that this is a curious change for me, and it's not a necessary change. I'm really happy here in London. Found a really good balance between work and play. I've also found a really good group of friends here that I'm really grateful for, and my family are also close by down in the southeast. So it's going to be a big change for me, a big curious change, but I think as I said previously in this video, Curious Change allows us to use our council and our agency to experience and to be stimulated by a change in circumstance or a change in condition, and I'm so incredibly grateful for this opportunity. For those who are new to this channel, I hope that you will join me in my experiences in Australia, my journey. I'd like to use this channel to continue to document my running, my meditation, my sober journey, but also to showcase the life of a Brit abroad, a Brit in Australia in this case, and to show how it came to be, and hopefully encourage, inspire and educate others to do the same. As always guys, thanks so much for watching. I like to end these videos by reminding myself and reminding you all to continue to find gratitude in your lives, whether change has just happened to you or you feel that change is on the horizon. Curious or necessary change, I hope that in whatever happens you can continue to find gratitude, and just know, just by taking a moment to find gratitude, even if it's pouring rain, you can be thankful for the rain, and in that moment of gratitude you can be sure that you'll find a moment of peace. See you in the next one guys. But before we go, let's talk about the change in running shoes, because after all this is a running channel and running is what I love. So let's talk about shoes. So how long a pair of running shoes lasts is a much debated topic. Some people say 400 miles, some people say 5, some people say 600. Personally, I do this by feel. A few of my pairs of running shoes, I bought them second hand, so I'm not really sure how old they are, how many miles they've done. But all in all, I do this by feel. How do my knees, how do my ankles feel supported in these shoes, and how do they look? I've actually got a few pairs of the Nike Zoomfly to go and drop off to my local Runner's Knee store. I've just called them and they have said that they do in fact have the recycling bin for the running shoes. Know that all of your old running shoes can be taken to your local Runner's Need store. I did call Runners Works this morning, but unfortunately they don't accept them, which isn't a bad part on them. They're a great store, they do a really good gait analysis, but in this case Runners Needs is the place to go. So I'm going to head there now and then we'll talk about the new shoe. In 2022, I don't think that we can understate the importance of reusing and recycling the materials in our everyday lives, not to mention the sheer impact the production of running shoes must have on the environment and on people internationally. The thing we can do is do our best, and if you do have an opportunity to recycle or reuse some runners, please do. So I've just run to the Cotswold outdoor store here in Highbury. There's also a Runner's Knee store, so I'm going to head in and recycle these trainers. There I was, so excited about the sun this morning, and now my face is pouring with sweat. But Runner's Needs were fantastic. They were really thankful for the shoes. And the gentleman who worked in the store also told me that during March and November, I believe, you actually receive £20 off your next pair of running shoes when you take a pair in. He also said that they don't necessarily need to be running shoes, they can be any old shoes. He even made the joke that you could steal them off a homeless person if you want, which probably isn't advisable. So recycling my old pairs of running shoes took a bit of effort, took 20 minutes or so of running here, and I didn't get that £20 voucher today, but I do have the satisfaction that I've actually recycled the materials that I've got all of my use out of, and that can then be reused and recycled for the benefit of others and the benefit of the planet. So what could be better than that? That should be satisfaction enough. But as I say, during March and November, if you are to take your old runners in, you will get £20 off your next pair of running shoes. Well, hello. It's now the next day, as you probably guessed by the new outfit, and I've got some new shoes to unbox. This is super exciting because I don't buy these often, but new running shorts. How cool are they? Anyhow, what have we got here? Got the Hoka, and boy oh boy are they a good looking shoe. These, ladies and gentlemen, are the Hoka Clifton Edge from last year, I believe. I got these in the sale here in the UK. Sports shoes currently have a massive sale off loads of Hokas. I'm not sure why, but these were like £50 off, so I grabbed myself. I think it's going to be a good deal. These feel and look amazing, but I've done my run for this morning, so I guess I'm going to go for a run in these tomorrow, maybe the day after, but you can expect somewhat of a first thoughts video coming soon. But for now, Hoka Clifton Edge, or Hoka, they're looking pretty cool. But guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been a video, I guess, somewhat about change, somewhat about running shoes, and I guess me changing running shoes, so that worked out quite nicely. See you in the next one. They're so damn cool.